I have had a blast playing BattleBit so far. Here are some changes I would like to see come in future updates. During this video, I will cover changes that I want to see with UI and interface, balance, classes, map and game modes, and just some fun changes as well. If I missed any changes in this video that you would like to see, let me know what they are in the comments. First up is UI and interface. We need to have the ability to change loadouts outside of the game and have the ability to save them. Honestly, I thought that this would be a basic feature for this game. I'm always in the main menu thinking about what I want to change in my loadouts and then forget most of the time as soon as I join the game. Next is unlocks. It's honestly kind of ridiculous that I have to die to see what I unlocked. Sometimes after a game, I don't want to play another game just to see what I've unlocked. Again, all of this should be in the main menu. Auto squads is one of the most frustrating systems in this game. All they need to do is have no one be in a squad at the start, then have people create their own squads and everyone can join which one they want. This allows people to lead who want to lead and will result in more matches that aren't mindless Zerg fest. Squad members getting mixed around after a match is just terrible. I wish there was a way to opt into an option to keep the squad that you were in the previous game to keep playing with the same people. And overall, just kind of the UI needs a little bit of adjusting with teammates. I just don't want to see these blue markers all over the place. They need to start to fade away after a certain distance. Next up, we have balance changes. I feel like I could make a whole video on this, but I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Weapon balance is all over the place. SMGs are far too good at long ranges. DMRs are just in an awful state, and RPGs have way too much ammo. SMGs need a larger damage drop-off scale. They shouldn't be outclassing ARs at medium range or even be on par with them. SMGs in general feel slightly overtuned. The Vector, the PP-19, the MP7, all being pretty high up there for weapons that I was surprised to find out allowed me to combat AR players well beyond ranges I would have expected to. I was wondering if I was kind of going crazy in between games with the amount of times that I played against SMGs and just got insta-killed. Aim punch is something that is frustrating a lot of players. A lot of players usually can't stand the mechanic in any FPS. Honestly, anyone that's trying to argue with realism for this game can get lost because the game is anything but that. It's still very arcadey at most times. Aim punch's current state, it's just pure RNG, which means you and your opponent may lose a 1v1 gunfight due to factors entirely out of your control. Even though I also constantly use them, claymores staying indefinitely shouldn't be a thing in my opinion. Have them at least disappear like 5 minutes after your death, but no more. I know this may be another thing where you scream realism, but having the map spammed with claymores and mines is just not fun. The reality of it is with 3 devs, I'm not really holding my breath for any quick balancing changes when there's still a lot of quality of life that needs changed. Next up, we have changes to classes that I'd like to see. Classes besides medic and recon need some more love, especially assault. Assault class is irrelevant at this point. Can someone tell me why medic gets so many more options for weapons compared to the assault class? Medic needs a fairly large nerf so it stops being an objectively better version of assault. Medic is far and away the best class in my opinion. You're actively hurting your own squad by not playing it unless you need an engineer for some tank killing. Just being able to, as the only class, to heal yourself back to full health is pretty OP. But then add on to that as well, rezzing others much faster on top of that makes every other class utility rather terrible by comparison. Let's just not go back to medics Wing plus M1ing through entire games and going like 130 and 20 every game. And if they were to finally die, they would just be revived by the other 4 medics that are on their team as well. The class needs some serious scaling back. I really think that medics should not be able to heal themselves. Plain and simple, support class should be able to give ammo directly to another player. And maybe support classes need extra utility. I would really like to see them be able to repair tanks in the middle of a battlefield. And don't get me started with sniping in this game. I think it is just far too easy. It's just ridiculous how many people sit at the back of the map and just spam easy kills all game. It would be nice to see sniper class limits. I just hate joining a squad and seeing 6 other snipers on the same windmill and then just one guy running around for the objective. I'm not sure if this is really a good game design decision, but I just am not a fan of entire squads being snipers. For a game that is a spiritual successor to Battlefield, the sniper system is really just too easy compared to what I remember in Battlefield. I think BattleBit has a great map design. It has a lot of cover to protect you from these snipers, but these snipers are just ruining the game, especially when your whole team is snipers and they're just sitting in the back and they're not playing for the objective. Overall, in my opinion, medics need a nerf, other classes need a slight buff, and we need to take a look at how many roles can be in each team and squad. Next, we're going to talk about map and game mode changes I would like to see. People mostly want to play the same maps over and over and over again, and it always seems to be the sniper maps. maps. We need a snipers only game mode for these people. We need to auto rotate maps so I don't have to play Whackistan 7 times every hour. And alternatively, if they keep the voting system as it is, it needs to have fewer options. Limit map voting to 2 maps. With 5, it just leads to the same 3 maps being played with nothing else, and it makes the game very stale. I think once a map is picked, it cannot re-enter the circulation of voting for at least 5 rounds. I also don't like voting for a game mode. I'd rather queue up for a specific game mode. We need servers that don't switch game modes, and instead I can pick the game mode that I want and the one that I want to play. And just do the larger maps for conquests. Some maps are just a bit too small even for 64 players, and this is just a minor complaint. I also wish that I had a choice between night and day matches. One day soon there's going to be community run game servers. There's going to be community made maps, and I'm looking forward to hosting those servers one day. These last ideas and suggestions for changes are just all random thoughts that I had. I think we should add parachutes. Every time you spawn in a helicopter, I think you should get a parachute to allow you to jump out. I'm aware that the rope exists. This would be a nice addition because most pilots don't even use the rope. The grind for weapons is a little bit too much. Rank progression takes too long. I'm not speaking about individual rank, but I mean in total. Why was 200 chosen? Why not 100? There aren't even that many weapons to divide up into 100 levels, let alone 200. It's also not very rewarding because, like I said, the rewards are just spread out too far. In certain ranks, there's close to 60 to 75 levels between unlocks, which is just crazy. In no world should it take me 100+ hours to unlock every weapon, especially if there aren't any other ways of unlocking certain weapons that you want to play. The grind should be for skins and prestige, not weapons. Please add toggle sprint keybind. My pinky finger gets kinda sore when I'm holding shift to sprint all the time. You shouldn't be able to do damage or take damage inside spawn areas. I find myself either spawn killing or getting spawn killed on a lot of the domination maps and certain conquest maps. Please make this change. I'm sure there's a few more things I could think of, but overall I'm loving this game. It's just mostly minor quality of life stuff and small buffs. I'm excited to see how the next updates pan out. A lot of these issues that I've mentioned during this video are a lot of the same issues that I've had with Battlefield over the last decade. Medics who don't heal and snipers who just sit in your initial spawn point all game. I enjoy the game for the most part, and it's light years ahead of Battlefield in tons of ways, but man, some of the issues above are really killing the fun of the game for me right now. Thankfully, it's in early access and the devs seem like they are very good at listening. I'm very curious to see how the game is when it's fully finished. And honestly, for less than $20, I'm very happy for what I've gotten out of this game so far. I would really like to edit my loadouts without being in the game and be able to save them. All in all, the game is still a 9 out of 10 for me, but I'm already just starting to feel a little bit burnt out due to the lack of variety. If they are going to fully replace Battlefield games for me, I'd really like to see some more variety in this game with more maps and game mode options. Again, I know it's early access, but we should still be able to give criticism and feedback. We've already done the playtest, which focused on the technical issues. Now it's time to focus on some quality of life issues. And we got to remember that it's a small dev team. They seem very dedicated, and I'm sure that they will work hard to make a lot of these changes as quickly as they can. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Make sure to subscribe for more BattleBit content. Let me know in the comments what changes you want to see in the game. Also, let me know in the comments if you disagreed with any of the changes that I want to see in BattleBit. Remember to keep your head down from all those snipers out there, and I can't wait to see you all out on the battlefield. Cheers.